This is a reflection on lesson 336 in A Course in Miracles that says, forgiveness lets me know that minds are joined. Minds. Forgiveness lets me know that minds are joined. And it talks about how, I think it says a line like, forgiveness like washes away or dissolves, I forget what word it uses, the illusion of separation. And forgiveness means acceptance. That's in the Course in Miracles book. It talks about early on how acceptance is another word for forgiveness. And that's what I like to think of, because forgiveness has other connotations, like, oh, somebody did me wrong and I've got to forgive them. And this book talks about how acceptance is really what forgiveness is. We're accepting things just as they are, and all feeling of wrongness can dissolve from there. And then this lesson talks about how this illusion of separation also dissolves when we can accept things as they are. We're not interjecting thought to say, I'm trying to figure something out. I'm trying to make a judgment. I'm trying to make a decision. I'm trying to understand something. And it's like all that trying energy. It feels like an energy of like, there's something to be done here. There's something to be done here. And acceptance is like, nothing needs to be done. Everything's wonderful, perfect, just as it is. Even if it feels hard, it's like things just are as they are. But the mind gets a hold of stuff and says, I've got to solve a problem here. There's always a problem. So do you ever feel that way sometimes? And it talks about in the quiet. In the quiet is when acceptance dissolves the illusion of separation. And separation is kind of the umbrella word for all the things that we perceive to be a problem. It's our perceptions that are the real separation. Sorry, there's like, so winter already here, and there's big chunks of ice. Actually, I don't even know what they are, but I have to think, okay, that's a big ice chunk rolling at me, and I didn't want it to like cause a problem with my suspension or something. So I was like swerving, this ice chunk just came off the car in front of me. Missed it. So anyway, I liked this lesson a lot because it reminded me of that, like in the absence of anything, like when you're actually quiet, sometimes I'll notice the mind, like I'm just having a beautiful quiet moment, and then the mind starts peeking up saying, there's something we got to do something. There's probably a problem to solve. We got to think about something. We got to think ahead. We got to plan something. We got to think about when's the last time I put my foot in my mouth, or it's like nothing needed to be done there. I was just having a beautiful moment. And then the mind does the mind thing and starts to make the quiet go away. And then it creates perceptions of separation. It's all an illusion. How can one moment just be pure, quiet acceptance and contentedness and bliss, and then nothing changes in my physical reality, and then the next moment I start to feel a contraction, I start to perceive 10 new problems? Like, how is that real? Like, what's the real thing there, right? Well, I want it to be the bliss. That can be my state all the time if I keep like recognizing the mind of what it's doing. And then you recognize it and then let it go instead of going on the thought train. So that's kind of what this lesson's really talking about, is in the quiet, all of those illusions can dissolve. They can go away when we let our mind be quiet, when we keep our mind quiet. Because the mind it's going to keep revving up until it's like that energy of exhausting an energy. And once the mind finally exhausts that energy of seeking and the energy of problem creating and problem solving, because it likes to do both. It likes to first create the problem so that it can then solve the problem, and then we're like, yay, dopamine hit or whatever. I don't even know if that's what's really happening, but it feels like it. Like, oh yeah, I just solved that problem. I created it first. That's the part we don't like to acknowledge, is that there was no problem. My mind created it just so it could solve it. So anyway, that's it for this lesson. I liked it, but it feels like these are all sort of related. They're just like a different angle, getting at the underlying thing of like the mind is what creates separation. Our true nature is oneness, peace, bliss, harmony, love. Bye.